Hello fellow modelers and styling fanatics, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing fine and enjoys the hobby. Concrete Bunker is back again today with another one of its notorious episodes. So on today's episode, guys, we are working on our usual suspect, the T-34/76 model 1940 from Cyber Hobby in 1/35 scale in kit number 9053. If I remember correct, let me double check it. 9153, sorry guys. So on today's episode, me and Past George are finally applying the damage all over the tank. This episode may not be as actioned as others. You may not be watching me do stuff. I mainly show and tell, but it is an essential episode in order for us guys to see the process of the T-34. Anyway, as I say through the course of the video, I am making it as I go. This is a totally different build from other stuff that I am used to do, which I also enjoy and I find interesting because although it is on my comfort zone, I will need to do things with different in a different row, in a different time to do things. I don't know if this made sense. It probably didn't. Anyway, I don't want to bore you guys any longer. You all know the drill. Grab yourselves a seat, make yourselves comfortable, crack the mandatory cold one or a hot brew, whatever you prefer, and let's see what me and Past George have in stock for you in this episode. Well, hi guys, welcome back to what it looks to be part 3 of our T-34/76 build. Now, according to my opinion, and my opinion always, this is the most interesting part of the build. Normally, in different situations, I would have started to disassemble this thing to paint it, but this is not the case in our scenario. I will need to, now it is the time for me to portray the damage done to this vehicle and also the positioning of the suspension system, which means that in order for me to to know the exact positioning of the suspension system, I need a base, because I plan to portray the suspension system not in level ground. So what I am going to do right now is to recreate a base. First of all, I will need to find out how big of a base I need and what do I need from the base to do. I need a crater, or I need something, a trench or something. So I am going to decide for all this stuff off camera, and I am going to be back. So after careful consideration, if I can name it like that, I don't think it was so careful, to be honest with you, but that's okay. After some consideration, this is a rough sketch of what we are planning to do. So let me explain. This is a T-34, as I've said. It has been knocked out somewhere in the middle of the field, and over here it is a trench, something like a trench, a dugout, whatever you wanna call it. So over here there's gonna be a dugout where some soldiers have set a machine gun nest. That is going to be this is Shepard's build, knocked out tank that German soldiers or general soldiers, to be honest, it doesn't have to be Germans, used it to set up a machine gun nest, because it provides with relative safety. At least you have your head covered, from anything, which means that from that cruel mockup we can attach the suspension system in place with the proper hanging of the suspension from this side, and from the other side it is going to be submerged in the mud. Now that's my crude plan, which means that off camera I am going to cut and attach the suspension parts of this T-34, suspension parts and road wheels. I will do that so I can have the cruel shape of it, of the suspension system, and then I am going to be back. Hopefully what I've told made some sense. Okay guys, first quick update. I have attached the suspension arms, and let me give you a closer look. So from this side I have just meddled with this one because it is going uphill over here. The rest of it is straight. The most of the modification has been done on this side. As you can see, I have progressively, if that's the word and I am not mistaken, starting to hang the suspension arms lower and lower, except this one, which I have placed it straight because it is going over here at this angle. Now, as I have been working on that, I have faced a small issue. Now the small issue is nothing major. I'm gonna explain you. Let me take the lid off, so just to help my lights. If you meddle at all with the suspension system on this vehicle, you will face the issue that there is lack of detail over here at the spring. I mean, if you position the suspension arm lower than what's intended, there is no suspension detail over here, and you have a small gap. I thought to remedy that situation, I have used epoxy putty to sculpt a faint, spring detail over here. Now I will add some photos on the screen so you can see the difference. In photo number 1 you will see this side finished and that side not finished at all, and in photo number 2 you will see both sides finished. So now that I have the suspension in position, as I wish at least, in a crude mockup, what's my next step? My next step will be to add the rest of the battle damage. What I am going to start first, I am going to give it the finishing blow. I am going to give it the killing blow, and I am opting to shoot it over here. So if you are giving a killing blow on a tank, you have to consider some stuff. First of all, it depends what what knocked out tank, what knocked out tank you are depicting. In my case, I am depicting a T-34, obviously. So, what could knock out a T-34, you may ask? Something that it is on the opposite team on the field. I can easily give it a blow from a Tiger, from a Panzer IV, and even a Panzer II, to be honest. But you have to consider some stuff. If you're giving it a killing blow from a Tiger, you have to take consideration of the damage that an 88 gun would do to this thing. And I wanna believe that the damage from a Tiger gun would be, something big. It would definitely open a hole, and a big one. Also, Tigers, although they were, in the battlefield, they weren't so similar. I don't wanna go crazy, I just wanna depict damage taken from a vehicle that was usual in the battlefield. So my choice is the Panzer IV with the 70mm shell. So if you divide 70mm shell by 35 times, you have 2mm, which means that I will need to drill a 2mm hole over here, and I am done. Now you will ask me what's the reason between all those math and all those stuff, thinking of what killed your tank and what didn't kill your tank. Because of realism. You cannot, portray a T-34 that has been taken out from a Sherman. This never happened. This is a part of imagination. Okay, we don't have a problem with imagination, but I am trying to depict a realistic scene as close as I can, at least. So, which vehicles fought against a T-34, which German vehicles fought against a T-34, and which one you wanna give it the killing blow, and if the one you have chosen would what kind of damage would have done. That's why I am, telling all this stuff, just to give you to give you a small hint to my thought process, to a thought process that you have to do if you are portraying a knocked out tank. So I am going to give it the killing blow, and probably I am going to do some damage on the fenders here and there, just for shits and giggles, to give it some more visual interest. And I am going to be back to tell you exactly what I have done, to describe you exactly what I have done. So guys, it has been 4 days since I have last recorded anything. Life happens, this and that, and I cannot even remember what I was talking about. Plus I am so lazy to just give a watch to my previous recording. But anyway, we're gonna roll with it, just wing it. So what I have done, I have applied battle damage to our T-34. When I say battle damage, I mean several stuff, okay. I have given it a thorough look all around, sitting in the bench for a lot of time, thinking about let's do this, no, let's do the other one, maybe, this and that, and I have been thinking a lot but not doing a lot of stuff, but I have done some stuff. So let's start from the usual stuff first. I have, as you can see, completely removed one of the front fenders over here, because I don't know, maybe it is mandatory on a T-34 to have its fenders removed. Anyway, apart that, I have also erased, this part, which is part of the front armor plate, so nothing is visible anymore. It was a fender here, but not anymore. I have also removed half a fender from the other side, mainly because I didn't wanna leave the other side as a stock, with nothing happening, with no damage at all. I don't know, it kinda seemed naked to me. Apart that, the rest of it is just some bends here and there in the fenders, which I will redo because I didn't do as good as I wanted, as I wished. Give me a moment. Okay. And then I have proceed with the damage caused by the shot. Of course, as you can see, shot is here, penetrated, and what I did was to use my pin vise, drill a hole, fill that hole with putty, Tamiya white putty, and then with the back end of paintbrush I have created this ridge, this ring, which is melted metal from the impact, from the heat of the impact, which is a cool effect. Other than that, I have removed some rivets here and there, mainly because I thought that if a shot is coming through the armor, the pressure and the explosion would knock some rivets off a tank. To be honest with you guys, I have ridden that tanks like 38-ton German tanks were prone to have rivets, injuring crew, while a shot has penetrated the tank, rivets also were flying around like bullets. So I was inspired by that, and I knocked some rivets off. Then I have removed the rubber part from this road wheel. I may remove it from this one as well, mainly because I am going to depict a fire. Fire came down up to this point, and of course the rubber is prone to, it does not play well with fire. That's why I completely removed it. Okay, it needs a little bit more sanding. I am debating with myself if I need to remove this. 99% I will remove this, the rubber from this wheel as well. This is done with a Dremel and then a lot of sanding by hand. And the last thing that I have done is to remove the wooden block from here. After after a lot of talking back and forth with my friends, thanks Michael, we have managed to figure out, we have found out that these two were wooden blocks, and since fire, this wooden block would go kaboom, would go to ashes. And that's everything that I have done, of course. And I have done work on the suspension. As you can see, I know that it is not so visible right now, and it is time for me to move to the next step. Now the next step is going to be a little bit more complicated. It is something that I haven't thought yet until I figure out the build as I go, which means that what I need to do next is to solidify the position of the tank onto the base. And in order for me to solidify the position of the tank to the base, I need to solidify the base. And in order to solidify the base, I need to make the figures, because figures are an essential part of this base, which means that I will have to put aside this whole thing and assemble the figures first. Because figures are gonna give me some exact measurements for the base, and then the base is gonna give me some exact measurements for the rest of the T-34, which means that I will need to postpone the tank build for a while. Now, I think that now it is a good time to wrap this episode up, mainly because it's going to be late for me to do some work, to do more work. I'm gonna be late, and I want you guys to have an episode just to watch, just to know that I am still alive and I am still here. Which means that we're gonna wrap this episode up right now. And with all that said and done, we have made it to the end of this episode. On our next episode, we will probably start working on our figures that are gonna be on some figures that are gonna be the protagonists of this base. I hope that you guys found this video helpful and interesting, and stick along for the next one. Before I go, I wanna thank each and every one of you guys that watched this video. A special thank you to all my subscribers, old and new ones. You guys are the best, and you are the reason I keep doing these videos. Now, for the newcomers out there that encounter one of my videos for the first time, welcome guys. I hope that you like what I do. If so, you all know what to do. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts and opinions, share the video if you believe it deserves to be shared, or even consider subscribing for more builds to come your way. Until the next time, fellow modelers and friends, take care and model on. It was that Mofo Daemon, signing out.